Hi everyone, this is Subhashini, and today we are here to talk about ERP systems, analytics, and HR decisions. This is a very important topic because either we have information and understanding of the ERP systems, the HRMS, HRIS systems, or we are people who understand analytics, or we are leadership and need to make decisions, right? Now, what is the flow and how does all of this come together so that we make the best possible decisions for our business? I do hope you will take a minute to subscribe to this channel. Now, the ERP and data analytics, has to work together, and the insights which come out of it should be used for better decision making. I think most of us understand that, right? Data by itself is not enough. Analytics by itself is not enough until it can enable better business decisions. So let's understand, how does an organization decide? How exactly does an organization or the leader of a department decide? When you look at it from the analytics angle, you have four broad categories of decision making processes. You have descriptive analytics, which explains what has happened. So you look at the data which is sitting, you have MIS reports, you figure out the average values, the median values, minimum, maximum, running averages, and you come to know that what is happening in your business or in your unit. The second is diagnostic, right? You are looking at hypothesis testing, probability. You're trying to figure out which part of the whole is contributing to an issue. So, if today I have high attrition in women managers, I'd like to know which part of women managers do I need to focus on, which country I want to go to, which particular department should I put my focus on, right? The third part is predictive analytics, where we forecast what's happened, what is likely to happen, okay, on the basis of whatever has happened till now. So if we find that in the industry, perhaps the attrition rate is 16%, but in my company it is 11%, then I'm going to start looking at forecasting the future attrition on the basis of my company, right? With an eye that on an industry level, this is what's happening. But the cool part is, for my organization at least, we are at a lower level of attrition. Now, the last part is prescriptive analytics, because finally all these three types of analytics needs to have a recommendation, especially when you start building statistical models. It's not very easy for business to start making recommendations, because first they need to understand the model, and then they need to sort of get to decision making. And for a leader, it is quite impossible. So it is much better that the analytics data science team looks at the outcomes and then suggests that these are the three, four outcomes which make a lot of sense, and these are the areas where the leader should work. Okay. The tactics and the strategy to work on those areas, of course, comes from the leadership. But which are these areas? Um, those at least should come from the analytics and data science team. Okay. So there are three things that I want to bring to you. You know that we have an ERP system, right? Why do we have an enterprise resource planning system? Because we want to keep certain processes going in the right way over and over again. Every time the same process should be followed. And then the data for each part of this process should be accumulated so that we can review it, we can use the data for decision making. Now, what in human resources are the ERP systems? You have two types of ERP systems, mostly you will hear. There is something called HRMS, Human Resource Management System, and then you have HRIS, which is the Human Resource Information System. Basically, the difference is on the in the IS, you actually have the information storage and reporting, which is of a pretty advanced level. Okay. In the HRMS, you find that certain things like employee appraisals, personal task management, salary management, etc. come. So most of the time you will notice people talk about HRMS and HRIS systems. Okay. So this gives you some sense of it. The most common system is Workday that I find being used. Now, the data cleaning checklist, because the data is all getting created in HRMS, HRIS system. Some basic reports are also getting done. But we know that when we look at doing analytics and data science, we need all the data in numerics, because finally, what is it that we need from analytics, data science? We want to build models, and on non-numeric data, you really cannot do maths. Okay. So what do? You have a data cleaning, data putting the data together exercise. And then what happens is the data flows into the analytics system. Sometimes there are overlaps. Okay. So it's not that everything is so distinctly and starkly different. You have certain HRMS and HRIS systems which allow you to do certain parts of the data cleaning. Now, in the analytics system, what do you have? You have dashboards and reports, and these differ from the HRIS reports in terms of having much more statistics related to it. It could have a forecasting model in it. It could have, some predictive models also built in. And then you have the insights for particular problem statements that you have in the business, which could be solved through predictive and prescriptive models. Right? We'll come to all of this, but I hope on a high level, we are all able to understand what exactly we are talking about. Okay. So when you look at the analytics maturity model, the most basic models are descriptive analytics models. Okay. The next part is diagnostics. The third is predictive. And finally, we have the prescriptive analytics models. Now, today I'm here to talk to you about a very interesting process, a process of attrition where employees are leaving the company and have left the company. And we have the data. What we want to do with such data is to understand, why did people leave? What can we do better to ensure that good performers don't leave? Who should I avoid hiring? Because perhaps there's a certain segment of people who never stick to my company. And we also come to know if in the market out there are people who are poaching, picking out our employees and hiring them. So all of this we will cover in the case study that I will share with you. So the first part, of course, is how did the ERP system, the HRMS or HRIS system, get the data? And one big way to get the data in a clean format is to create an effective exit survey. Okay. So you can have an online survey where the person who's leaving the organization can come and, or should come. It should be mandatory part of the exit process that they should give us some feedback. After all, we can only improve when we get feedback. So, what are the next two steps that we will do? The case study here that I'm considering is an exit interview database from Australia. So the government of Australia, for 522 employees, wants to do a understanding of the exit survey data, right? The two parts that we're going to look at is, of course, the data cleaning required and the insights. The emphasis here is on the basic level of models, a descriptive model. So they don't have any clue what this data holds, and they are expecting that we should be able to give them a clue. With this, I'll stop the video here. And in our next video, we'll start off with the analytics.